What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Dogecoin today. DOGE, not the Department of Government Efficiency. No, we're talking about good old doggy dog Dogecoin. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Here we are sitting at about 34.4 cents, and people are bearish on Doge. It's crazy. This is great. This is a very bullish posturing for people to be bearish on Dogecoin. I will say, if we look at the daily time frame, it does lead, or there is reason to believe that we could go a little bit lower. I don't think we will see lower lows. I think it will be higher lows, but something around 30 cents to 32 cents. I shouldn't even say 30 cents. Above 31 cents, probably, let's say 32, maybe even 33 cents. 32 to 33 cents. You're at 34 cents now. So if you were to go lower, just a little bit lower, right? If we look at the daily time frame here, I mean, if you go lower by this kind of metric here on the daily RSI, I would expect that if you go lower today, that you would then not only have your low today, but you'd probably come back up and close here or higher. So it might be some kind of quick flash crash. Let's look back at the 1 hour and see if that agrees. The 1 hour does look like it wants to go down a little bit. 4 hour could go down, and it's about to get, it would likely get into the oversold zone on this next attempt. I don't know. Maybe you even see prices go below 31 cents. I doubt it. I'm not calling for that now, but maybe you do. Let's see. I want to look at this real quick. High to low, or low to high. Come on now, buddy. There you go. I mean, as of now, what I would call for comfortably would be that you move to 32.2 cents to 33.3 cents, somewhere in that area, and find support there. If you don't find support there, then 25 to 28 cents is on the table. Okay, 25 to 28 cents. But if we take a horizontal line here, that 1414, man, that could be where you go. And then you're forming some kind of like double bottom out of this whole range as a whole. I don't know if you do that. I personally wouldn't expect Dogecoin to do that. It can be volatile in ways like that, but normally whenever it's volatile, it's like it's pumping up and then it pulls back and then it pumps up. It's not so volatile on its way down that way. I wouldn't expect it to just dump and then come back up. Though it can happen. It does that at times, right? Right there's a perfect example. It's not Dogecoin's style. It's more volatile again on the way up than it is on the way down, in my opinion. But it can happen. So all that to say, I'm sorry I keep beating around the bush. You're at 35.5 cents now. I'm truly expecting you to go to around 32.2 cents to 33.3 cents, somewhere in that zone. If not, the lowest the lowest expectation I would give you is probably around this low here. If you were to go below this low, it's fine. It's totally fine. You can go below that low and be fine still. Ultimately, whenever you are ready to start moving higher, I think you've got new all-time highs on the brain, right? The way that you are here, the way that you're consolidating here, I would expect that Dogecoin, when it does break out higher, it sees prices above $1. I want to use a different chart because Coinbase is just not, it doesn't have all the all-time history, right? You're looking at Dogecoin here from a relative high of the last cycle to the relative low of the bear cycle. You are actually recently finding support at the golden ratio and being rather productive on this fib. The way you look here makes me more confident that you don't go below 31 cents, that you do hold that 32.2 to 33.3 area. You don't have to hold that area, and again, if you go lower, it's okay, but this is a good look, I will say. And the weekly RSI looks great. The 3-day time frame looks a bit neutral, kind of funky, but so does the price action, right? Probably cleaning a lot of people out. Daily, the daily actually looks pretty bullish, to be completely fair. Again, just assuming that you don't drop too low. If you do drop lower, probably close here or higher would be nice. And the 4 hour and the 1 hour suggest that you go down, but they're not crazy bearish, just more like momentarily bearish. Like if you are to see the move down, and I think that you would see the move down, it would probably happen today. If not, if we don't move down today, here's the thing. If Dogecoin doesn't move down today and it has these looks on the 1 hour and 4 hour and it doesn't move down, you've got some bullish looks on the daily, the 3-day, and the weekday, the weekly time frames that would definitely be willing to send this thing to the upside. So if you don't move down today, if you don't go to the areas that I'm expecting, maybe you'll move up instead, and you can see this thing moving up above 40 cents here in any given point in time. Regardless of what happens, I want to talk about this range, okay, from the last cycle high to last cycle low. You are on the cusp right now. You're on the cusp of seeing a move that breaks you out to new all-time highs, right? Dogecoin, generally speaking, whenever you see a move like this, it's called a bull flag. You move up, and that's your bull pole right there. That's your move up, and that's your bull flag, the kind of consolidation there, pointed down like that, right? The way that you'd measure a move like this is you take the low to the high, okay? You take the low of the move to the high of the move, and then you put this, the bottom of this, at the low of the flag itself, put it right there, and that is your measure move. So your measure move by this metric alone would be at about $1.15. Now, $1.15, that's above $1. That's at new all-time highs, but that doesn't really line up anywhere with our fib zones from here. And that's okay. It doesn't have to. Maybe you stop at $1.15, you consolidate, and then you reach higher, you get a slightly higher high, and you tip 2272, and that's where you really start to consolidate. Maybe that happens. Maybe you rest like you did here at this area for a little bit, and then you press higher. I don't know. But that is right there one way to make sense out of a target just above $1, but just below $1.54. Again, I think $1.54 is something to consider. I think Dogecoin very much by the end of this move, which I expect to happen over the coming weeks, going into the end of February, specifically around the 15th to the 20th of February is the time frame that I've derived, and I've been saying that week after week for the last like 2 weeks now, week after week. I've been saying it for the last 2 weeks. Sometimes that like reporter mindset in me, it like tries to add what's the word I'm looking for, exaggerate things to the most like standout point week after week. No, I've been talking about it for the past 2 weeks that I've been expecting. This might be the third week now that I've been expecting crypto to move up, not just at the end of January, but going into February, going into the end of January. And I think we could see crypto top sometime in early or mid-March. It's possible, but the date range that I've been focusing week by week, day by day, down to a T or a little bit more refined is the 15th to the 20th. For some reason, a lot of dates keep coming up that make sense around the 15th to the 20th with things that revolve around crypto. I need to get a video of all that stuff together, man, because I think you guys would find it really interesting. But beyond that, okay, $1.54, $1.15 right now. Okay, if we take a relative high here to a relative low there, relative high to a relative low here, you've got the 2272 right there at about $1. $1 is a nice psychological level of resistance, so maybe you stop there. At this area here between the 2272 and the 2618, that's your measure move. So likely, just by all definitions of the fibs, likely you don't hit your measure move. You either, or maybe I should say you don't stop there. You either fall short of it or you will exceed it. You might exceed it by a lot. You might exceed it by a little. Who's to say? But I would suspect that Dogecoin doesn't meet its measure move. So likely you go anywhere from $1 to $1.54. I think we have that established. Okay. I want to take one more measurement and then maybe we can move on with ourselves. Here, looking at this, with the reaction you've had with this golden ratio, going up to it immediately, breaking through it immediately, then finding support on the 1272, I would expect, there's no doubt in my mind, that you go to the next golden ratio, which is the 2618. So that's at $1.23. Coming up in that area, that zone that makes sense, the most sense for us, right? So here you went a little bit above it. Could you go a little bit above it there? Maybe to $1.54, which is the 1272 of this overall fib range here. I think it's very possible, right? Very, very, oops, that's not what I meant to do. Very, very possible, not just for Dogecoin to break above $1, but even go up to like $1.50. I don't know if it does. I'm leaning more toward that $1.20, $1.23 area. It's completely possible Dogecoin could even be worth $2 by the end of February. It really could. The thing is, this 3113 and this 2886 up here, 163 to $2.07, that could be where Doge goes. Doge loves to move up bullishly, man. It loves to move up fast. And the thing is that this move here, from October 14th until the end, that happened in like the beginning of December or the end of November, that move, as fun as it was for a little bit of time, you moved up 339%. I would theorize that this next move is bigger. It probably is bigger because Dogecoin only gets bigger throughout the cycle, man. That was a big move, but look, that was a big move. That was the real big move. That was a Dogecoin move. We still haven't seen a Dogecoin move yet. When we break out to new all-time highs, I think we will, and that could take you all the way up to $1.63 to $2. So if you sell at $1.23, you want to take short-term profits. By the way, I'm not recommending that, and none of this is financial advice. Who cares what my recommendations are anyways? My opinion is that you probably don't stop there. The rest of the cycle, it does grow to prices probably around, if not above, $4. That's my thoughts. So why would you sell there whenever it could go way higher later in the cycle? But if you want to take short-term profits there, that's okay. Just if you do at around $1 or $1.20, then do not panic buy when it's at $2 or $1.63, because likely after it goes there, it will likely drop back to prices not just back here where you sold, but likely lower. It likely will go lower, maybe even back to its all-time high for support. But I would suspect it goes back to $1 to find support, nice psychological level after it finds its high, right? Whatever its relative high is. So beyond that, I don't really know if I have anything else that I want to talk about. We can talk about some cycle ending stuff and then get on with our bad selves, right? I did mention that I thought the cycle would end at $4 or more for Dogecoin. From a high to a low, the very first cycle, right, from a high to a low, it's bear cycle here. The next cycle, its bull cycle that it had was at the 1618 extension. That's where it tipped off. The golden ratio, the 1618, that's where it went right there, okay? High to low here. You can see I'm taking the high of the cycle and then measuring down to the low of the cycle, high to low. We hit the 1618 here. That's where we had a little pit stop. But really, we carried on to the 2272, all the way up to the 2272, so a little bit past the 1618. My theory is this, that Dogecoin does not hit its 2272, but it does not stop before it's 1618. So somewhere in between, likely, probably not $8 to $11, though I think it is possible. I know that there's a huge movement for Dogecoin going around where people are talking about $23, and I think there always needs to be outlandish prices, because that's how you still get crazy prices that would have seemed otherwise outlandish if you didn't have these crazy prices up here. Dogecoin is not, you guys, it's not going to $23 by the end of the cycle. I would love it if I'm wrong, but it's not going to $23 by the end of the cycle. It likely does stop somewhere between $4 and $23, and my guess would be it probably stops really close to that $4 area. Specifically, I'd feel the most comfortable saying between $8 and $4, but again, 4 to 5 is kind of my comfortable range that I'd expect. And I'm saying that, and the true target is actually below $4, so you might not even see $4. It's not promised. But that is my expectation for the cycle. So I got nothing else for you guys. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you want to subscribe and see more stuff like this, subscribe and you'll see more stuff like this. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.